We're living in a rapidly evolving world where AI is taking control of various industries, and the writing industry is one of them. So, in today's world, what's happening? AI can generate stories, software can assist us in creating plots and characters. And so, where does that leave the writer? What is our role? What is your role and my role in creating stories in today's world and into the future? Can novelists grow, adapt, and continue to be creative in this kind of bizarre literary environment that we are living in? So that's what I want to talk about today. My answer is that we actually need to transform ourselves in order to continue to grow and continue to adapt. And I'm going to talk to you about how I think we can do that.
You have a story to tell, but you don't know where to start. Let me show you how to free your story. I teach you how to write and how to dig deep in your soul to release your story and make a difference in the world.
I want to welcome you to the Julia Monte channel. I am Julia Monte. I'm a women's fiction author, and I'm happy that you're here and that you are tuning in so that we can chat about some of the things that we as writers have to deal with all the time. Sometimes it's craft, sometimes it's things like how storytelling is changing and how AI is affecting us. And that's what I want to cover today. The first thing that I want to do is talk to you about embracing technology, embracing all the changes, including AI. And the reason why is that it's just not going away. If you've paid attention the last year, the last few months, it's just moving faster and faster and faster. More software is out there. Chat GPT keeps growing. There's all kinds of other large language models. And so we can have a fit, we can stomp our feet, we can do all these crazy things and just scream and yell and say, it shouldn't be this way. But the truth is that it is, and there's a lot of bad that is happening online. I've seen that I haven't even checked my novels, but a lot of authors have checked their novels and they have found that their novels have been used by large language models to learn in order to help create more stories, right? In order to help it learn how to create and be more creative. So that's a bad thing, but the truth is that AI is not going to replace you. It's not going to replace human writers and our abilities to be creative. So we don't want to have a battle with AI because we're not going to win and it's not going to be effective. So what we want to do then is use it to help us, right? So how do we do that? How do we use it? And I'm not saying to write stories. Like, I honestly don't understand that. Like, why would anybody want to feed some software information about whatever you're thinking, your characters and the plot, and just say, write it for me? Well, what's the point of that? Because the joy that we find as writers is in writing itself, in creating, in thinking about things. If we're telling a machine to do it for us, well then it's not really writing. But we can use it for other things. We can use it for brainstorming. We can use it for, maybe if you have writer's block or believe in writer's block, maybe to help you get out of that if you're stuck on a plot point. If you want to refine your drafts as you're rewriting, I think it would make a really great editor. So who hasn't wished that they could afford an assistant, let's say, right? That you can hire somebody that can do things for you, so that when you get stuck on a certain part of your story, you can call your assistants and say, okay, can you look this up for me? What would somebody be wearing in the 1976? What would somebody cook for this certain meal and this culture? So for research purposes, it's wonderful. And your assistant, right, your AI assistant, can find information for you. It can help you with editing. It can help you with those type of things. And if we use it for that, it becomes another tool. For example, one of the things that I just did, and I just went to Google, but I said, I wanted the smell of burnt tires. Like, what is a creative way to just say that, right? The smell of burnt tires. Well, Google gave me all kinds of different smells and different ways to describe that. Well, that is helpful. It doesn't mean that I'm going to use it word for word, but it is helpful in thinking, helping me think of a creative way to say, rather than just say burnt rubber. And it's funny because I asked Chat GPT, What can we do? How can I use you to help me become a better writer, but not to write for me? And also tell me why we shouldn't fear you. Why we shouldn't fear AI that they're going to take over. And this is what ChatGPT said. It said, instead of fearing automation, writers can choose to embrace it as a way to streamline the technical aspects of writing so writers can focus on depth, nuance, and emotional resonance. So that's kind of interesting, right? It's saying sort of what I'm saying in a different way, right, in its own language. But that's what it's saying, right? That we can focus on writing. We can focus on being creative and nuance. It can give us details. It can do any kind of technical. It can check your spelling. It can do those kind of things. But as far as actually creating and writing, it's not going to do that. In fact, it doesn't. You have to feed it. Even the ones that generate stories, a real person is telling it, generate a story based on this and this and this, and these are my characters, and make this character afraid of mice or whatever. You're telling it, and then it generates a story. And honestly, right now, it's not good. It's not, it doesn't do a good job, in my opinion. It's all very cliched. It doesn't write well. It will, at some point, it will actually generate things that are much better than what it's doing today. But for now, it definitely is not. So what we're doing is we are redefining our role and how we're going to write. How are we going to use technology to make us better writers? And this is something that writers have done from the beginning of time, right? As we moved from just writing on a piece of paper with a pen or a pencil, we've integrated typewriters, we've integrated computers, we've always modified our writing with technology. It's a lot faster now to write than it was before. We don't have to throw away tons of paper and rewrite from scratch, right? Because we can try different things with our word processors. We can write scenes, we can toss those away, we can rewrite them, we can bring them back, things that previous writers of the past could not do. So we're constantly evolving. This is just a new way. So our role now is to decide how much you want to use technology and AI. So for me, is it okay? I have to ask myself, is it okay for me to ask how I can define burnt rubber, right? How can I write this in a creative way? And to me, that's okay. Is it okay for me to say, write this scene for me? To me, that's not okay. Why? And again, it may be okay for you. It's just not for me. So for me, I don't want to use it that way because I love writing. I want to write it myself. I don't want the machine to write it for me because then it really takes the fun out of it. It takes the creativity out of it. So in one aspect, what it's doing is it's helping me to write a better description. And in another way, it's taking over my story. So to me, there's a huge difference. But I need to decide as the writer, what is my role? Is my role to do all the creative writing and to really write the entire story, but to seek help for descriptions, for editing, for grammar? Maybe that's okay. And for me, that is. For you, you may not even like that, right? You may decide, no, I don't want that. I don't like the changes that it makes. I don't like the very, for example, one thing that Grammarly tends to do is it doesn't like certain words. Like it doesn't like always, it doesn't like certain words it just doesn't like, and it always takes them out. And it's like, well, no, I really wanted that there. I understand that it's probably not the best, or maybe this is a passive way of saying it, but I want it to be passive in this aspect, in this scene, right? So you have to, or I have to, as the author, my role is to look at that and reject some of the changes that AI or word processing systems tell me to do, or the things that, proper English, maybe I don't want proper English in this aspect or in this dialogue. So your role as the writer is to decide what is appropriate for you, what is not, what do you want to do, and what do you want to let some AI assistant do. So I view the writer of the future as one who does most of the creative work, but that does rely on this AI assistant to do some of the work for him or her. I actually welcome an AI assistant that's going to maybe fact check my writing, my stories, my details, that is going to point out elements that just aren't working right, or that where the language is stilted or something, I do welcome it. Now, I want to be able to control whether I accept it or not, but I do think that as we move forward in the future, that is what what's going to happen is that there is going to be more reliance on these AI robots, assistants that are going to help us to refine our work. And it's going to make like an editor's job so much easier because they don't have to worry about all that. That will already have been covered, and they can focus really on the story, on how the story is evolving, if it's making sense, if it's characters are motivated well, and even some software is going to be able to look at that. But it's going to make an editor's job a lot easier. So should we fear then becoming irrelevant in this new world? And I don't think so, not at all, because these large language models are they're just words, right? They're just producing words. They haven't lived what you've lived. What makes each story unique, the reason that we love certain authors and dislike other authors, is because of their own unique life perspective. None of these language models are living any of these lives, right? So your story is unique to you. You have your own voice. You have your own way of telling a story. You have your own experiences and nuances that are going to go into your story. And that's what's going to make it special. And no large language model is going to be able to reproduce that. I think there's always a fear of change, and there's always a fear of us, being obsolete. And I don't think that we really need to worry about that. I remember when ebooks first came out, and people said, well, they're never going to take off. And then there were other people that are like, oh my God, they're going to take over everything, and we're never going to be able to find a actual book. Well, ebooks did not take over. They are only about 20% of book sales. People still love actual books. So, but we have options as well, right? We have ebooks that we do love. I like an ebook every once in a while. I buy ebooks all the time when I travel, when I just want to read quietly without bothering someone. I have my ebook, and I also buy my actual books, right? Actual paper books. So change happens all the time, and I don't think we need to be afraid. I just think we need to adapt, and we can think about how it might be useful to us. And I do want to encourage you to continue to learn. Don't be afraid of AI. Do some research, learn what it does, look at some of the software programs that are out there. Use the ones that you think might be helpful, and just continue to learn. Because if you just kind of close your eyes and say, I'm not going to have anything to do with this, well, then that's where you might be left behind. You might be at a disadvantage at some point if someone is using AI to edit all their books or to fact check all the books, and you're taking hours and hours and hours. It's still okay if that's what you choose to do, but just know that doing it the old-fashioned way might take you longer. You might not write as many books. You might miss certain things that a computer system can find quickly. So it can also make mistakes, though. So you do have to be careful. I've caught mistakes that Grammarly and stuff has done to or just changed my words. So you do have to be careful, but it can be helpful. So continue to learn, continue to see what's out there. Don't be afraid of it. If it is infringing on your copyrights, that's something different, and I think we do need to do something about that. We can't just let them use our books and have it learn from books and us not get paid for it. But again, that's a different thing, and I'll probably do another video on that in the future. I actually have to learn a little bit more about what's going on there. But for now, I think that I just wanted to encourage you that you're not becoming obsolete, and that your role as a writer is still the same as it was before. It's to be creative and create great stories. I hope this has helped. If it has, please like the video, share it with friends, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.